Okay, well, we have successfully completed our first night in the new setup. I gotta say, it's pretty freaking awesome. And no, I didn't film last night. We are actually in a little campground area that's right alongside the current river. Beautiful little spot that we've been to a few times. It's just a nice little go to, beautiful little spot. There were some other people when we got here, and it was getting fairly close to dark, so really just wanted to go ahead and get set up. And again, still getting used to the YouTube thing where I'm sitting here talking to nobody, but I'm talking to you, the viewers. And thank you, by the way, for tuning in. So maybe tonight, when we have a little more time, we can film the setup process. And now that I've had an opportunity to really run through it, so slept pretty well last night. All things considered, first time in the rooftop tent. It was surprisingly hot inside of that thing. Um, and I did run the diesel heater initially to kind of pre-warm it. And that worked almost too well, maybe. Or maybe just the thing is so much better insulated than a regular tent that way beyond my expectations. So we actually had to open up some of the windows and get some cool air blowing through. Problem with that is we got cold later. Surprise, surprise. So, but it wasn't bad. Now, the really awesome thing was the pups did amazing. Now, getting three good sized dogs up a ladder into the tent, that was fun. Getting them down was equally as fun. So it's something new to them, and they're the whole thing about being picked up and carried, like they're not really sure what's going on there. So hopefully over time they'll kind of get used to it, and more importantly, hopefully we'll get a better system. Not sure what that is yet, but we got to figure out a better, safer way for all of us to get them up into the tent. But once everybody was up in the tent, they did great. Uh, so super pleased with them and how everything went. So got up this morning. We had some cinnamon rolls and some coffee, and we've just kind of chilled. And so now we're about to do some true overlanding. So there are an abundance of trails in this area of Missouri. Some of them we've been on before, and I've got a route that we've actually done before on Gaia. So we're going to kind of head that direction, and at the same time going to explore some new roads and just see where it takes us. Now, we don't know where we're going to end up tonight. And that's the fun part about overlanding. We don't have to come back here to this campground. Uh, if we decide we want to, cool. No worries. We'll come back to this campground, set up again, and have a good night. It's right here alongside this beautiful river, and we'll just enjoy ourselves. If we find a better spot, though, we'll set up there. So we're about to get these mutts packed up in the truck and head on out. So let's see what we can find. Newfound respect for you YouTubers. Doing all this just to get capture a shot of crossing the stream of water. We are a little weird. Interesting, not really sure what the heck that is. Other than trash collection. So. And then there's this. Who knows? Kind of cool though. So we've come to this. This is supposed to be the trail. We're gonna walk this and see what it looks like. Again, we're out here solo. No winch. Nothing but some traction boards for recovery gear. So I am not about to put us in a bad spot. I think it's totally doable. It's only 3 to 4 inches deep. It's a good gravel base, so I don't think we'll have any problems. But I'm not alone in this adventure, so I'm gonna let her decide. We can always turn around, no big deal. But what we're hoping is to continue that way and meet back up with a trail that we've done previously with another group. So we'll see. If she's not good with it, she's not good with it. That's okay. Better safe than sorry, right? Okay. So goes right around the curve to where we can't see at this point, and then the main road goes up all the way down. It's at worst ankle deep, and it's all gravel. So I'm okay with it. Are you okay with it? You good?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Let's do it. All right. I have video evidence that she said it was okay. Woohoo! We made it! No, stuck in the river. Aren't you glad? I know, you want to go play in the river. Can't please everybody. Good? Good? So Toyota put in these little pitch and roll indicators so you can see how big of a down angle you're going or how big of a hill you're climbing. So, thanks Toyota, we get to be cool like the Jeep people.
Deeper than I
thought. It wasn't that it was deep, it's the gravel. And you never know with these gravel beds. Sometimes they're like nice and compacted and you're gonna have no issues whatsoever. And then some of them, the gravel is really, really loose and you just start to dig in it. And when that happens, man, you're done. Floor load doesn't make any difference. You're just gonna dig. We made it. Keep going because we really at this point don't have a choice. But whew, little pucker factor there for a second. Okay. Now this is what I call overlanding. So we have traveled along this dirt road and found this spot and I'm going to set up here for the night. So it should be pretty awesome. So I kind of forgot to film us setting up the tent. My bad. Still getting used to this YouTube thing. But you know what? I'm betting if you look on YouTube, you will find some videos on how these set up. Just a guess. Go check it out. So this is our setup for the night. We are on this creek bank. Got a little fire pit action. Do still have the propane. I feel like I'm a bad weatherman trying to point at the cold front coming through. The propane, if we want to use that. And yeah. Camp kitchen. And of course, tent set up. Most importantly, oh yeah, it's gonna be nice. So. it back to blacktop. So I guess that means we're officially out of the woods. Yeah, and we made it. Our first weekend overlanding in this rig with this setup. So it was fun.
It was a good time.
Better than our last setup.
Yes.
So what's better about it?
The packing and unpacking.
Yeah.
So much easier to get to stuff.
Right. Yeah. That was one of my big things about wanting the Tacoma over another 4Runner. And again, I've said it once, I'll say it every time. I loved the 4Runner. I had no real issues with that vehicle, but trying to pack all of our gear and 3 pups. That's the big thing. Having room for them was difficult. And then having sleeping space and all that kind of stuff. So the rooftop tent, game changer, no doubt. Takes a little bit of setup, but then so does any other tent. I mean, our previous setup was this big tent with typical tent poles that had to be put together and then attached to the back of the 4Runner, and it just it was nice. But this is way nicer. A lot more room for the gear, a lot easier to get.
Set up.
Way less time to set up.
Yeah.
And so awesome weekend for our first weekend out. It was a little bit cool. Not terrible. We didn't freeze to death. Diesel heater, I do definitely have to do some tweaking on that to figure out what's going on there and why my power station isn't powering it the way it's supposed to. Most likely going to be the cheap Chinese diesel heater. It's just pulling too much amperage, and the blue eddy is going into a kind of a safety thing and shutting itself down. So, but I mean, we were able to run it, the heater off of the truck, just let the truck run for a bit and power the heater and kind of pre-warm the tent, and that worked pretty well. I did get up about 4 o'clock this morning.
Yeah.
And ran it a little bit more, and yeah. So, you know, it's just trial and error and tweaking things, and but great trails through these beautiful hills and everything, and some great water crossings. So we had a lot of fun. I think the pups had a lot of fun, and we're about to hit the road and head back to the house. It's Super Bowl Sunday. Get back and enjoy the game or the commercials or the halftime show, whichever, you know. Yeah. So for now, I think that's going to wrap it up. We definitely got some mud on the tires. Truck is yeah, she's pretty clean, but I like her better like this. So, but we're gonna make our way home, and that's it for this video. So thanks for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed. Be safe out there. Get out there and explore. Find your adventures. So, bye-bye. Who ready to go home? Who ready to go home? Come on. Huh? You ready to go home?